Call meeting to order, and the first order of business is through the special call meeting. Been moving second, all in favor? Aye. All right, first order of business is item number 315, Cabell County Commission in reference to coal versus Cabell County Commission decision not to appeal it. So move. I would second. Any comments?
I just think it's a huge mistake. We're allowing a judge to usurp our authority that is given to us by the Constitution to set the budgets for the other elected officials. And if you looked at the budgets that were submitted to us, we had two of them that asked for one $500 and some thousand more than they got this year, and another one $300,000 more than they got this year. So nobody's looking at trying to help us or cut budgets.
So that's our
And
job.
we're gonna, I know it's our job, but it's
our
been
job.
taken away from us.
It's our job to cut them back if they're too high, which we will do that.
And we'll wind up back in, we could wind up back in court again. And if we appeal it, we'll have an answer, we'll have a decision that we can, regardless of what direction it goes, we'll know what our job is.
Well,
The County Commission Association hasn't agreed to, other than being a friend of the hearing, hasn't agreed to pay for anything, as I understand. Whatever the law.
Did you get a letter from them today?
Yeah.
Kanawha County has offered to help pay. You were there, and then Kent Carper offered to help pay at that meeting in Charleston.
He didn't write anything, but.
Well, he said in the meeting that they would help with it. I think the commissioners would be happy to help with it any way that they possibly can, because it's gonna affect them. I mean, it's gonna determine how they do budgets as well as how we do budgets. So they've been very concerned about it.
well, I'll say this on my part. You know, I've been through, from sheriff on up, I've been through a lot of court battles. And any time you get sued, if you can get 4/5 of the cake, you better take it and run with it. Because if we appeal this thing, then number one, they may not even accept it up in Charleston. And you never know what the people are going to do in Charleston to start with. They'll obviously kick it back down to lower court and start over again. If that happens, then we're done. It's going to cost us probably $1 million.
It will not cost $1 million.
Well, I
We
don't know
asked
what
our
it
attorney,
costs.
and he said maybe 50, another 50. Gosh, you're negotiating with one of our elected officials and giving him more money than that. I mean, it's just, to me, we're gonna leave here not knowing what our job is, and we're trying to do budgets for next year. If you have to negotiate with the elected officials on what you give them in their budget, how are you ever gonna do a budget and make it a balanced budget and be fiscally responsible? And that's what the code says we are.
Well, I understand that, but like I'm saying, I'm trying to use common sense on it. It looks like to me it's only common sense. You're taking a chance on trying to win the other 1/5 of the cake.
Well, first of all, I firmly believe that you will, based on what the Constitution says. And second of all, I want to know something. You can't go year after year negotiating with elected officials on what their budget's going to be. You can't do that and come up with a balanced budget every year and be responsible. That's the part that scares the daylights out of me. It says I'm responsible. And not only am I responsible, I'm criminally liable.
Well, so far this year, the people have worked in their budgets. Nobody's over on them. We haven't heard the new proposals yet. If they're over the budgets we gave them, of course, we're not going to give it to them. They know that. You know, and everybody will ask for a raise. Oh, I want my people to have a raise. We do too, but we don't have the money to give a raise.
Well, we asked them to cut their budgets because we were going to have to do that.
I understand.
Irv did not ask for more money than he had last year.
Well,
But we had a couple of people that just went absolutely overboard, and any one of them can sue us if they don't get it, just like they did last time. We're just leaving ourselves out there year after year if we don't ever come to some conclusion on it. And you're talking about a circuit court judge that's making that ruling, not the Supreme Court.
Well, I think all the elected officials are very honest people and honorable people. I think they'll try to work with us. They know what kind of shape the county is in, they know what kind of shape the city's in, and for them to do anything else but try to submit a decent budget, maybe they shouldn't be in office. Maybe they're in the wrong place.
Well, they sued us last year,
I understand they should just,
so that's my point.
okay. Anybody else have anything to say? All right, there's a motion on the table that we, not appeal the Cole versus Cabell County Commission. All those in favor of them will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed,
No.
so be it. Okay, that concludes, that portion, and the next portion is, your budget, young man.
Well, obviously, we submitted the budget and we did what you asked, so I will say on the record that we have tried to be a team player from the moment I got here 4.5 years ago, and we will continue to be that. And I think what happened last year, we need to move forward. We need to all be on the same page, and we all need to understand where we're at. I'll be the first to tell you that there was a lot of things I didn't understand last year. So, yeah, hopefully moving forward, I can better understand things between all of us.
And we appreciate you trying to,
We're
hold
trying.
the same budget.
And I've said this before, that, you know, my predecessor ran a good office and didn't have a lot of fluff in it. So when we get cut, it's real. It's not fluff, it's real. And if you look back, we're operating on a budget that's almost a decade old. And I challenge most government agencies to do that. So we've done what you've asked this year. We brought you a number. It's what we did last year. I'll be the first to tell you that everything is more expensive every year. And I don't know if this is, well, this is not going to be sustainable for long term. You know, we're operating with less staff. We're being asked to do more than we were years ago. So we've cut a lot of line items that don't, you know, there's no fluff there when computers break, when we need updates on software, those type things. So I brought Alan with me today. He's the one that runs the budget on a daily basis. If you have particular questions, you can ask him. But we can do what you said for next year. And you know, we take pride in it. I mean, every year but last year we returned 5 of our budget, 4 to 5%.
Well, we certainly appreciate
If
you.
we don't need it, we won't spend it.
Yeah, and we appreciate you in that category also, because you do try to work with us. And,
Sure.
you and the sheriff will, I know, if the other 3 or 4 do the same thing, we'll go into the 16-17 budget in good shape. We won't have to cut off anybody. We won't have to lay off people.
My hope is that, you know, as you all continue to manage the healthcare situation and the jail bill, hopefully we'll get possibly some relief somewhere from somehow on that, you know, moving forward in a couple of years, we can maybe have some more money, because we're going to have repairs, we're going to have updates. It's part of doing business.
If the legislation, the electors will only help us in Charleston, then we'll be okay. Give us a revenue stream.
Right.
Because we don't have any, as you well know, except personal real estate.
Right.
And it's getting less and less every year.
Right.
I want to personally thank you.
And thank you all. I think it's been a learning curve the last year and a half or so. So,
I
there's
think
struggles
that,
everywhere.
you need to understand this property tax can't even more.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, it's gonna get there soon.
And we also have to realize, and I think, you know, not turning over last year what happened, but these offices have to be funded
We understand
adequately.
that. We understand
At
that.
some point, you run into, you know, and that was everybody's pitch last year, we can't get done. And so I'm already down, what are we down, about 3 or 4 employees now? We're running with 3 or 4 employees less. So at some point in time, You can't get your work done. And what we do, and I'll be the first to say, I'll just throw it out there, we have one of the best staffs in the state. And quite frankly, you all have a bargain of what is paid in our office compared to a lot of, there's a lot of assessor offices that have way more staff than we do, who are similar in size. So we've got to remember that, the sheriff's got to do their thing, and everybody, all of us, are part of this. We've got to come up with a long-term solution. And a long-term solution is not to keep reducing staff year after year.
I certainly understand that. I think we just have to do something to get over this hump.
Oh, agree, and that's why I'm here saying.
We can get over the hump,
yeah,
and we've got to have help getting over that hump.
That's why I'm here presenting, doing exactly what you asked me to do, and I agree completely.
And then, maybe we can see a better road ahead. But if you don't have money, you don't have money.
I understand.
You certainly can't manufacture it. And it's really tough when you're sitting here and you're responsible for a balanced budget.
I understand. And I'm responsible for a whole lot of things year-round that have to be done by state code.
Absolutely, we all are.
And the moment that I don't get done, there'll be not one tax bill sit out of this building. So that's real. That's real. We have, we just finished the certification the other day. Everybody's budget is based on the certification. We've got to have the sheriff adequately funded to do his duty of collecting the taxes. And I'm not here to debate. I'm here to
We
say,
certainly
I'm here to
understand
say,
all that.
Nancy, that I'm doing exactly what you asked us to do. We brought you the budget that you asked for, and I'm here to help get us over the hump. I just don't want it thought that there's a lot of fluff. If I didn't have people who left on their own, we would have had to lay people off.
And you were fortunate in that regard.
We were fortunate.
That you had
Yes,
people.
yes.
that you
Thank
just
goodness I didn't have to go to
replace.
people who lost their jobs. And we
The other
lost
elected
three of them.
officials will come with a budget like you did, like they had last year, and we'll be in good shape.
That's why I'm here. I hope they do.
Our goal with this commission is one day to have a revenue stream where we can give all the county employees a raise, and they very well deserve it. If anybody deserves a raise, it's county employees. Because, we're understaffed and underpaid, all of them are.
Sure.
So maybe one day that may,
Yeah, let's just get over the hump, I agree.
we'll get over the hump, one way or the other. Everything, Jimmy?
Not a thing.
Okay.
I thought it looked great. I appreciate the work that you all done.
We're trying.
I thought his budget was great. Give it to you all.
Anyone have any comment before we adjourn?
It's a good start.
So be it. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. Did you want to take it down, Charleston?
Worked hard at it while I was over there. I just